How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another upload. So yeah, action films are one of my favorite genres. So I figured, why not show off all my action film compilations? We'll start out with this is one I got a few years ago, the James Bond collection. There's actually several versions of these. There's one that's kind of like the Shaw scope, where it's like in this big long ass box, like a little book type thing. But yeah, this is kind of a generic one, as you can see. Yeah, we gotta love the cases. Hey, at least it's kind of nice though. Like divides it up by the year. And then you got the back. You got all the fucking Bonds. You got Connery and everybody else. Who was that? Connery. Here, we'll zoom in a little bit. We got fucking Connery, George Lazenby, Roger Moore, see old Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and of course Daniel Craig. This was take a quick look at one of the cases. I'm not going to show off too much of these. Let me zoom in. Yeah, real great, isn't it? Holy shit! You can see like how cold it is. I put my hand on that, and oh my god. Yeah, real great though, isn't it? Just put a lot of effort into this. Holy shit! Like the case, like the most generic thing ever. But hey, at least we saw the movies on the back. But like, if you know the Bond films, like you already know what years they came out, so it's like you know what's going to be on these like Blu-rays anyway, without even having to look at this. And there's all that shit. You got MGM. I guess Warner Brothers helped distribute this. I don't fucking know. Fuck it. Let's take a look at a couple of the discs too. Whatever, man. Yeah, the discs are kind of generic. They all look the same pretty much. Just with the name of the title. I think the one exception is Spectre. But all the rest of them look just like this. But yeah, one thing I really don't like about this collection is it doesn't list any of the special features. Which, yeah, there's actually a ton of special features on these. Like, there's like multiple audio commentaries, like featurettes, just... I mean, there's like television specials. It's insane. Especially for like the older films. Like, just so much stuff. But yeah, just a excellent collection, I guess, if you're a James Bond fan. I guess we'll move on. I know this doesn't say action, but we have some Clint Eastwood. Yeah, the Thriller collection, and there's the 4 movies that's on there. You got Coogan's Bluff. We can read what they are, so whatever. You got old Eastwood. I think that's him and Coogan's Bluff, where he's like a police officer. And of course, you got HD quality picture and theater quality sound. Yeah, well, I mean, it's a Blu-ray. There's all the movies. Yeah, there's some special features on this one. Actually lists them too. You got one about how he acts and directs. You got a documentary about Play Misty for Me. That's a good one. You got one about, I guess, The Beguiled, talking about director Don Siegel and Eastwood. And theatrical trailers. Yeah, and more. Here's the titles. I guess not the titles, the fucking description. Is there anything else in here? Let me look. No. Oh, yeah. I guess we'll just look at the video description. I guess we'll look at the movie descriptions if you want to. Here we go. Yeah, zoom it out a little bit. Oh my god. Fuck. There we go. So yeah, I guess the best way to describe these films is that Coogan's Bluff is basically like a Dirty Harry prototype. The Beguiled's like some Civil War era psychological thriller. That one got remade like somewhat recently. Play Misty for Me is like a Psycho-esque or Hitchcockian thriller, and the Eiger Sanction's like a Bond-esque thriller, but it's got some good climbing scenes too, kind of like Cliffhanger. So yeah, it's a nice little collection overall of movies. I've actually had seen a couple of these before I got this. The main reason why I got this one was because of the Eiger Sanction, but wouldn't you know, it's like the worst movie on the collection. Yeah, kind of underwhelming. Fuck it. I can deal with that shit later. So what we got next? Oh, we got more Clint Eastwood. We got the action double feature. We got a couple war films, Kelly's Heroes and Where Eagles Dare. So there we go. As far as I know, this is the only way to get these films in Region A. Like the only way you can get them in the U.S. I think in like other countries they like release these separately, but over here you got to get them like together. It's kind of weird. Flip it over, and there's a description for the movies. And Kelly's Heroes doesn't have any bonus features, but Where Eagles Dare has a pretty interesting one. It's one that I guess came out around the same time as the movie, like behind the scenes, I guess to help promote it. And there's some screenshots. Anything in here special? Nah, it's just the 2 discs. I guess we'll talk about the movies like briefly. So yeah, Where Eagles Dare, you know, they're both war films. Where Eagles Dare is probably the more well-known of the two, and honestly the better one. I mean, Kelly's Heroes is just, that one's good, but, you know, the pacing's kind of off at times, and apparently that one had a lot of edits. You know, MGM cut it down, I guess, for like, so they could play it more times in theaters, plus that's whenever they were going through some turbulent times, so yeah. According to Eastwood, anyway, it was like cut quite a bit. But yeah, I would still recommend this collection just for Where Eagles Dare. Plus, I mean, Kelly's Heroes isn't a bad film, just, like I said, a little bit underwhelming in my opinion. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention the Bond films. Yeah, Bond's one of my favorite franchises, so that's that, I guess. And here we have, oh yeah, good old Chuck, the Chuckster, I guess. That was kind of corny. Has anyone ever even called it? Whatever. Yeah, you got the Delta Force, Lone Wolf McQuade, and Code of Silence. It's in the back. Yeah, this one doesn't have any special features. It's just the movies. Yep, some good old 80s Chuck. I've seen the last two, Lone Wolf McQuade and Code of Silence. Never seen the Delta Force, but I've heard it's not very good, so yeah. I mostly got it for mostly for Code of Silence. We'll talk about that one first. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those like Dirty Harry-esque cop films, only not as good. It's by the same director, like Andrew Davis, who did The Fugitive, and did a couple of Seagal movies as well. I think he did Above the Law, and he did Under Siege. And then also Lone Wolf McQuade, which this one was a pleasant surprise. It's like a neo-western type thing, you know, got some good fight scenes and like a good, surprisingly good soundtrack. So yeah, I would definitely check this one out. You know, him and David Carradine get like a big fight toward the end. You know, Carradine, the guy from that Kung Fu TV show. So yeah, good stuff. Plus this one was like dirt cheap too, so I had to get it just for the last two at the very least. So it was worth it in the end. And next up, we got a fucking heavy hitter now. This is good old Die Hard. Yep, all 5 movies. Blu-ray and the digital code. And it includes unrated versions of the last 2 movies, which is nice because, you know, I know Live Free or Die Hard was PG-13, so they had to get rid of a lot of the language. So, I mean, come on, you can't watch... How can you have Die Hard without the language? It's just, like, not the same, in my opinion. And here we go. Here's the back. I think it just talks about, Yep. Description about what the series, and you got a bunch of stuff. Yeah, this one also, these also have a bunch of special features, but of course they don't tell you about them. Like commentaries and stuff like that. And yep, there's the movies. Anything special in here? I think it's just like a code. Yeah, it's just the code and the Blu-rays. Nothing really to say. But hey man, it's fucking Die Hard. Just an awesome collection. And really, I haven't seen the 5th one yet, but of course the first 4 are just like excellent films. Well, I don't know, the 3rd one's probably the worst one that I've seen, believe it or not, but I don't know, like, what's the 3rd one called? Die Hard with a Vengeance. It's still good though, but not as good as the first 2, or even like Live Free or Die Hard. I like that one. And we got some more Bruce Willis films. We have Last Man Standing and The Last Boy Scout. So I haven't seen Last Man Standing, but I think it's like based off the movie Yojimbo or Fistful of Dollars. You know, it's like a similar plot. You know, like some dude coming to a town, or I guess in this case a city, like playing both sides of like rival gangs. So yeah, I'm sure it's like good. Albert recommended that one to me. Then we have The Last Boy Scout, which is like a one of those buddy cop films. It's pretty good. It's got some good dialogue. And there we got some descriptions for the films. Once again, I think this is another one that just only has the movies and like no special features. But to be honest, I mostly got this one because of The Last Boy Scouts, which that's good. Like if you like those buddy cop films from like the late 80s, early 90s, you'll enjoy that one. Alright, moving on, we have... What's this? Ooh. Next up, we have American History X and the History of Violence. So I haven't seen American History X. I know it's more of a drama. And really, a History of Violence, I don't know why the hell this is here. Why I put these with the rest, but I guess it's sort of an action film. Hell, I would quote it anyway. I don't know when else I'm going to talk. I don't know when else I'm going to talk about this in a video. Of course, you know, History of Violence, that's based off I think like a graphic novel directed by David Cronenberg. Like, it's good. You know, got some good performances, like a lot of violence. But yeah, it's more of like I said, more of a thriller, like crime drama, but still like very good. Yeah, you get all sorts of like special features for that one, like an audio commentary. But yeah, it's really violent though, like a lot of like bloody, you know, a lot of like blood when the characters are killed. Yeah, so doesn't pull any punches, but definitely check that one out. Especially if you want something different from Cronenberg. It's not like body horror or anything like that. All right, what do we have next? Next up, we have, here's another one we got for pretty cheap. Just a bunch of Jason Statham movies. Yeah, we got Wild Card, War, The Bank Job, The Transporter 3. Not 1 or 2, because I think the first 2 were distributed by a different studio. And the first 2 Crank movies. Now, I've only seen only 2 of these so far. Well, The Bank Job and Crank. Bank Job's pretty good. It's like a heist film based off a true story. I'd recommend it. And Crank's great too. It's like the most 2000s action movie ever. Like it's editing and stuff. You just gotta watch it. You would know what I mean if you had seen it. Just it's very 2000s. Just feels like a music video at times. But yeah, just an awesome action movie. I've heard the sequel is more of the same. I gotta check that one out at some point. I guess we'll flip it over. Yeah, I think on the back just a bunch of credits and stuff and special. I don't think this one has any special features either for the Blu-rays. Yeah, because all the movies are on 2 discs. They just cram them together. I guess they can, because a couple of these movies are pretty short, like the Crank films. They can get away with it. Alright. Getting close to the end. Next up we have 2 movies I haven't seen yet. Equalizer 1 and 2. Heard they're pretty good, but I just gotta watch them at some point, I guess. Yeah, another one with digital code. A lot of these have these digital codes. I guess here's like a description. Let's zoom in. Why is it not zooming in? There we go. Oh, that's just for the second movie, but good lord, that's all I text for the first movie. I think it's like it's like a vigilante, I guess. So yeah, that sounds cool. Like, 'cause I've heard they're good action movies. I think they're directed by the same guy who did Training Day. Antoine Fuqua. I don't know how you pronounce. I guess I pronounced that right. I have no idea, but yeah, I gotta check those out at some point. Oh, and I guess last but not least, oh boy, here we have an interesting character. Old Steven Seagal. But don't worry, this is back when he actually gave a shit. Before he gained like 100 pounds and he just became like a fat fuck. Yeah, fat. Let's be honest, he's a fat fuck. Oh my god, I don't know, I would recommend like the channel Space Ice if you want to watch for Seagal content. That's a good channel. I'll put a link to it in the description. But yeah, like I said, this is back when you actually cared about making good movies. Action movies, anyway. We'll flip it over. There's all the movies. We got Under Siege 2, Hard to Kill, Above the Wall, or Nico Above the Wall, even though it was only called Above the Wall in theaters, but whatever. And Executive Decision, even though he's like, spoiler alert, I'm not going to spoil that movie. But yeah, obviously, Under Siege. I think most people are familiar with that one. It's generally considered his best film. It's a good Die Hard clone. Sequel, don't know. Heard it's not as good. Hard to Kill is I thought that one was pretty entertaining, although it's, kind of cheesy. And then you got Above the Wall. That's another cop film. Yeah, it's kind of like Code of Silence. It's good, but it could have been better. And Executive Decision is another good, Die Hard-esque movie, even though, Kurt Russell has a bigger role in it. And I guess we'll just show off the discs, too. Get these damn things. Oh, we could just done this instead. Actually read them. Here we go. So actually read them. Alright. And there is descriptions for number 2. Yeah, flip them over. It's just Seagal holding a gun. Not really a whole lot to say. But yeah, pretty solid collection. This is from, you can see I'll show this one more time. The 18 rating, that means it's European, but I don't think it's ever got a US release. These movies did, but I think it was just cheaper just to get them on this collection. But yeah, if you like Seagal, 90s action movies, you'll definitely enjoy this. There's some good stuff in here. And yeah, that's about going to do it for me. Hope y'all enjoyed, my action film collection, and I'll see y'all next time.